Hey, 144 kids, welcome to the recap where we review what we did, what you may have missed, and for all of us to learn together. Don't forget to sign up for more. Check out our merch store for one of these cool things and get down on to Bible Pathway Adventures. We have links below, and subscribe to be in the group, to be part of the gang, a sheep in the fold, you get the point. Enjoy, okay? Hey, Shalom. If you've been following along in this series, we've been going over every letter in the alphabet, and today we are diving into the letters Samech and Ayin, I think. So let's dive into Samech right now. Follow along on the screen. All right, so this is the letter Samech. Let me make myself a little smaller, Hey, there we go. Put myself next to this guy. What's up, dude? Come on. He does it. He does what I do it. So this is the letter Samech, which you see right here to your left. This is the tradition. This is the modern Hebrew symbol for this letter Samech. This is what it looks like. It looks like a little O with a little swoosh over there, right? On the right, this is the ancient Hebrew letter. This is the pictograph, the ancient Hebrew symbol for the letter Samech, which is kind of cool. And so what this letter looks like, it means a hand on staff, support, or a prop, right? But this letter is interesting because scholars also say it believes it could mean something like a thorn. As you can see up here, this is a crown of thorns, right? So it could mean a staff, which we see my man holding right here. It could mean support, which we see right here, or it could mean some type of thorn. That's what this symbol could look like, which I could see how they get that. But let's dive a little bit deeper and see if we can learn a little bit more. All right. So let's take a look. So this is kind of cool. I'm gonna get a little bit bigger for this one. This is kind of cool. So if it does mean thorn, this is interesting because thorn bushes were used by shepherds to help build a wall or shield to enclose his flock during the night to protect them from predators, which is kind of awesome, right? So you can kind of see down here that this shepherd took a lot of sticks and he kind of made some type of a barricade for his animals to help protect and keep them safe and just not leave them completely exposed over to enemies and predators and wolves and lions and things like that. And so this letter Samech could remind us of something like this, which is beautiful because obviously we're sheep. Yahusha, he's the shepherd, and so there's a lot of similarities there, right? So that part's really cool. Now, this is also something that's near and dear to my heart. If you like to party, then you like Sukkot. You like the feast days like I do. Now, Samech, it's also a letter for Sukkot, right? It reminds us of Yah's presence and support in our lives as our shelter. Right here, right below me, you can see the Strong's number, according to Blue Letter Bible. Sukkot, the letter is H, the Strong's number is H5523. And you can see right here, this is the first letter of the word Sukkot. So I love that the first letter of the word Sukkot reminds us of support. It reminds us of protection. It reminds us of shelter. Because that's what a sukkah is. That's what a Sukkot is. The temporary dwelling place to remind Israel, yashara'Al, to remind them that Yah was there to protect them when they were out in the wilderness. It's the whole reason why we continue to keep this feast and memorize it, which is super cool. So Samech connecting with Sukkot, you can't be surprised. Like, how awesome is that, right? All right, let's see what else we can learn. Let's keep going. Ooh, all right. So we're going to dive into scripture, and specifically, we're going to look at Psalms chapter 119, right? Psalms 119 was written by David, and it has all of these different letters that he wrote about. And so we are going to focus on Samech, this one right here. So go to Psalms 119, and let's read the scripture together. So here we go. All right, let's take a look at this. I'm making myself a little smaller, move myself out the way. There we go. So Psalms 119, verses 113 through 128. Let's read together. He says, I hate the double-minded, but I love your law, your Torah. You are my hiding place and my shield. I hope in your word. Depart from me, you evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God, of my Elohim. Uphold me according to your word that I may live. Oh, come on, Dave, that's what I'm talking about. And do not let me be ashamed of my hope. Hold me up and I shall be safe and I shall observe your statutes continually. You reject all those who stray from your statutes. for their deceit is falsehood. He rejects those that stray away from him. You put away all the wicked of the earth like dross. Therefore, I love your testimonies. My flesh trembles for fear of you, and I am afraid of your judgments. There is a lot in here. Let's see if we can, excuse me. Let's see if we can draw out some just general observations on what David wrote about the letter Samekh, right? So let's take a look right here. So verse 113, he says, double-minded men are hated, according to, and this is what this, all we're doing is just pulling out observations from the verses we just read, right? David is claiming that Yah hates double-minded men. He's saying that evildoers are sent away. All who stray from Yah's statutes are rejected. Deceitfulness, which means lying, ends in vanity. All the wicked of the earth are thrown away, it says in verse 119. Going back up to 13:14. Loving Yah's law and hoping his word, that we will be safe. His commands, keeping his commands, if we keep his commands, we will be sustained. Regarding Yah's decrees, and we will be upheld, which means to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments as best we can. And then love Yah's statutes, and we will be kept close. That right there is huge. That is huge. So, this is perfect. So this is the acrostic for this letter. So you can see here, in the light purple, the letters for Samekh, right? It spells out Samekh, Samekh. How you spell Samekh in Egypt is not in Egypt. Oh, don't say that. Not in Egypt. How you spell Samekh in English is not as important. We're just spelling it phonetically, which means we're trying to spell it in a way where we can sound it out really well. But here is a great acrostic to help us remember Samekh, and this acrostic kind of sums up what David wrote about this letter, right? So it says this: you, O Yah, are my shield and my hope. All the wicked are tossed like rubbish. It's a great way to sum up what David wrote about this letter. That's so cool. Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Not a lot of updates other than we got some merch. Available. All you gotta do is go to the Kids Action Pop Show website, click the merch tab. Feel free to get as many 144 Kids shirts or anything else like that. We're gonna try to keep it updated. But that was it. Shalom. All right, and I believe it's time to head to the second letter. I promise you two letters. So let's get to the next letter. The next letter is, drumroll please, Ayin. Like, what you eyeing, huh? Like, what you eyeing? You know what I mean? Just kidding. So, Ayin. So over here, as per usual, on your left, we have the traditional, the modern Hebrew symbol for this letter. Kind of looks like a Y, but kind of laying down, taking a nap. You know what I mean? And then on the right, it literally looks like an eyeball, like an eye. Hence, Ayin, right? Kind of self-explanatory. That's kind of cool. So obviously, since it looks like an eye, the meaning of this letter is very straightforward. It's an eye to see, or something to experience. Experience is really cool. And so in scripture, when we talk about seeing things, it's interesting because the goal of this letter is for us to communicate, to see something. But seeing something in scripture could have a deeper meaning, like understanding, trying to understand deeper matters, which is huge. And so we see this big eyeball up here for seeing, and then we got this guy. Put that away, man. Yeah, that's kind of weird. We're too close. Why is he got binoculars out? You know what I mean? Anyway, so quick question. This is called optical illusion. It's called optical illusion. My question for you guys is, what animal do you see? Do you see a duck or do you see a rabbit? Take a second, right? As we were talking about like this letter and trying to see and experience something, it just popped in my mind. You know, I love these kind of pictures because it makes you think. Half of you guys are like, I see a duck. The other guys are like, what's up, Doc? It's clearly a rabbit. But what about you? Put in the comments, what animal do you see? Do you see a duck or do you see a rabbit, right? I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest. Check this out. This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 21. So this is kind of more scriptures about eyes, seeing and experiencing. We're just pulling some scriptures for reference. Jeremiah 5, chapter 21, it says, hear this, you foolish and senseless people who have eyes but do not see, who have ears but do not hear. How can you have eyes and not see, ears and not hear? Well, if you have eyes and don't see, some might say you are blind. If you have ears but do not hear, some might say you are deaf. But I believe this is a metaphor. He's saying it, you can see, but you can't actually experience. You can't understand. And that's kind of the similarity, right? It's a little bit deeper than just your vision. He's talking about, can you understand something? And same thing with this. This is referring to hearing, but like I can hear you, but it doesn't mean I truly understand what you're saying, right? So that's kind of cool. Let's see if we can find another scripture. Ah, monkey! Sorry. I'm sorry. That kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know I put that slide in there. Let's keep going. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it will eat its fruit. I'm not really sure why we add this verse in here, but I like it. It's a good verse. Any scripture we got is good scripture. Yeah, not sure. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, all right. Let's read some more scripture. This is Psalms chapter 119, verse 121 through 128. So let's read this together right here. Verse 121. It says, all have done justice and righteousness. Do not leave me to my oppressor. So this is David, right? This is David writing about the letter Ayin. Be surety for your servant for good. That's like, be my safety, right? Do not let the proud oppress me. My eyes fail from seeking your salvation and your righteous word. Deal with your servant according to your mercy and teach me your statutes. I am your servant. Give me understanding that I may know your testimonies. It is time for you to act, O Yah, for they have regarded your law as void. Therefore, I love your commandments more than gold. Yes, than fine gold. Oh, David said, I love your commandments more than fine gold. Not just the cheap stuff, the good stuff, right? Therefore, all your precepts concerning all things I consider to be right. I hate every false way. I love that last part too. Hey, everything you say, anything you say about anything, I think is right. I'm going to go with what that says first. I'm going to go with what your word says about whatever the topic is. And I'm going to take that as right, no matter what. That's something that we can adopt and hold on to. That's something we can adopt and hold on to. What? Ayin. Oh, we have Sadi in here. We just needed Ayin. But okay, now let's take a highlight of Ayin right here. This is just some verse breakdown, some highlights and some observations that we can grab from this scripture, right? Verse 122, he says, ensure your servant's well-being. That's what David is asking of Yah. Verse 124, deal with your servant according to your love, right? Oh, that right there is beautiful. A great model of unconditional love, not just in the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament, but also in the Tanakh, the Old Testament, in Psalms, which is huge. Verse 125, he says, I am your servant. Verse 121, do not leave me to my oppressors. Verse 122, let not the arrogant oppress me. Your law is being broken. So David is concerned here. So these are just some of the observations that we took away from this verse, just in case you kind of read over it and your eyes glossed over like Krispy Kreme donuts. I just wanted to make sure we grab the general context, right? So that's pretty good. All right. Oh, and here's the acrostic. Nice. This is a great way for us to memorize what the meaning of this chapter is, but also this letter. So it says, I am your servant, Lord, or Yahweh. I like using Yah. I am your servant, Yah. Give me discernment. I'm your servant. Give me discernment. That's the best way to summarize what David is saying in this chapter. That's so good. That right there is fantastic. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with us today. We look forward to seeing you in the next video as we go over our next letters, which I believe are Pei and Sade. So, see you there. Peace be with you. Shalom. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this recap session, and hopefully we can see you in the 144 Kids on Shabbat, which is every Shabbat. That is Saturday if you need a hand. We take the first Shabbat of the month off, but these videos will be uploaded as soon as we can. If you haven't already, or maybe you just forgot to, subscribe here on the channel to stay up to date. Sign up to join us live for 144 Kids. And remember, Yeshua HaMashiach, our Messiah, man, he's the way and the only way. All you need are the Father's laws and commandments, his Torah, those Moedim, his feast days, those family holidays, and Yeshua, our Messiah. That right there, that's what we need moving forward. Man, we love you, and we cannot wait to see you in the next video. Hopefully we see you live on Shabbat. Until then, shalom. Peace be with you.